Assalamu alaikum. So, what is the some of the basic differences between a capitalist economy, an Islamic economy, and a socialist form of economy? I'm going to make a bit of an oversimplification of this for the sake of making it more understandable to the public. So let's first have a look at the capitalist form of economy. In the capitalist economy, there are basically four people who are entitled to money, and all of these four people are directly or indirectly involved in the creation of money, or value, or service. Okay, so the first category of people are the people who are called the capitalist because they have the money, and their reward is interest. So they give you principal and they get back principal plus interest. Okay, that's the first group of people. The second group of people are the people who own land, are the people who own resources, who own machineries. And the way these people get money is through rent. Okay, so they can lend you their land, they can lend you their resources and machinery, and in return they get rent. Okay, and the third category are the workers. Okay, they are the laborers, basically, who work for a particular company or an organization or a farm or on anything, and for whatever physical and mental work they do as instructed, they get paid for that. Okay, these are the three people, and the fourth is the entrepreneur, who basically brings all of these three elements together at his own risk. So if he has an idea for a company that creates a product or it creates a service, so he's going to bring the money from the capitalist, and he's going to say, well, give me your money, this is my idea, and hopefully my company will be profitable, and I'll give you back your money plus the interest. And then he takes the lands and resources and pays them their rent, and he pays the laborers their wages. And if there's a profit at the end of the day, he pays all of these three people back, plus he gets to keep the profit. And if he doesn't make a profit, then he is in a lot of trouble, because he still has to pay the interest, he still has to pay everybody else. Right? This is the capitalist form of economy in a very, very simplified version. And of course, there is private ownership here. And then there's a socialist form of economy, which I'm really sorry, I might be oversimplifying it, but what it basically is that there is no private ownership. Everything collectively is owned by everybody, which is a very vague thing. It's like, it is problematic, and the direct consequence of this is that the only way you can earn money is by being a laborer in the form of wages, because money, the treasure of the whole the capital of the whole society, socialist society, is collectively owned. Although communism is slightly different, but still it is in direct contradiction, diametrically opposed to capitalism, right? You as an individual do not own anything, okay? Either the government owns everything, which is basically what usually happens, or the society as a whole owns everything. I'm not really sure what that means. But the direct consequence of that is that there's not a lot of incentives left for people to take risk. There's not any incentive for people to come up with ideas, to innovate, to take the society forward, to invent something, to make new products, to make new services, to make any technological advancements. There's just no incentive to do that. So the only way you can earn, first of all, is being a laborer. But who would you labor for? Because no one is going to take any initiative, because there is no incentive. And that is why historically societies which have adopted this form of economic system have failed miserably to produce any good results. Okay? So in capitalism there were four categories of people who earned money, and in socialism there's just one, which is the worker. And now in Islamic economy, what happens is that you take the capitalist economy and you modify it a little bit. And how do you modify it? Well, in capitalist economy, there was the capitalist, the people who own land and resources, the entrepreneur and the workers, right? In Islamic economy, the capitalist is not a stand-alone element. It is not a separate element. Rather, the capitalist is either the same person as the entrepreneur, or it is the same person as the people who own the resources. And even if they are a separate entity, the way they earn money is not by interest. Rather, the capitalist is in a way the entrepreneur in any case, because they don't earn interest. They take the same risk the entrepreneur takes. So fundamentally, basically, in Islamic economy, the entrepreneur and the capitalist are tied together and they cannot be separated. So the capitalist in a capitalist society gives money to the entrepreneur and gets his money back in any case, right? Plus the interest also he gets back. But in an Islamic economy, the capitalist gives the money to the entrepreneur, and he, along with the entrepreneur, is at the risk of the company or the venture being successful. If the venture is successful, the profit will be created and value will be added to the society, and the profits thus generated would be shared between the entrepreneur and the capitalist. And if there is a loss, then the entrepreneur would not be the only one to suffer the loss. The capitalist will also suffer a loss. The capitalist cannot say that, well, I give you my money, then you have to give it back to me anyways. No. When he was giving the money, he was taking the risk. Okay? So the direct consequence of this is that the capitalist will also be equally concerned about creation of value, about creation of products and services in a society, in an economy, right? He will put his skin in the game. He will also be concerned, right? And if there is betterment in the society, if there's prosperity in the society, it will be distributed equally. And if there's loss in society, if there's a calamity in the society, that calamity and that loss will also be distributed and not be burdened and not be put on the heads of few people, right? So 3 people, not 4, 3, not 4, 3, only 3 people are the people who are directly involved in the creation of money. So basically, entrepreneur is tied to the capitalist. There are 1 people, and then the people who own the land and resources will still get the money in the form of rent, and the workers who get their wages. That was the first difference. The second difference is that both in the capitalist and the socialist economy, people who only those people who are directly involved in the creation of money, or indirectly, but involved in the creation of money, are entitled to money. But in an Islamic economy, there's the concept of zakat, which makes it compulsory for Muslims above a certain level of financial and material possessions to give 2.5% of their annual savings to people below that level. So even people who are not directly involved in the creation of money are entitled to a certain amount of money which comes from the people who are qualified to give that money, right? So these were the 2 basic differences between an Islamic economy and the other 2 systems of economy. I hope I have made the point clear, and if there's any questions, I would love to answer those questions. And I'll see you people next time. Assalamu alaikum.